So with the summer holidays in full swing, we all want to make sure that we've got something that kind of adds a bit of bling, a few little sparkles into the spaces that we enjoy most, being the patio, maybe it's being the entrance to our home. And I've chosen 3 plants for you today, which are no mess, no fuss, and they just do the job. Plus, they can be recycled afterwards, which is really good. This hydrangea is in its prime condition right now. One of the biggest things that you need to look out for when you have got some hydrangeas is don't put them in the full sun. What is most important about your hydrangeas to keep them going over the holidays is to allow them never ever to dry out. Now, as I put my finger in here, you'll see there's actually a bit of the soil attached to it. That is your first sign that your plant is happy. It's got enough water. Plus, if you really left it a long time, these flowers will almost be crinkled up on themselves. You can resuscitate them by giving them a good amount of water, take it out, and rather put it somewhere where you can water it freely and allow the water to drain through. Go back, do it again to allow this container to be able to absorb as much water as possible. What do we do with it when it's finished flowering? Well, hydrangeas make great garden plants. And once they have finished this cycle of your summer holidays, you can actually then start toughening them up. And you can put them in a position in your garden that does get an early morning sun. Just whatever you do, avoid hot, late afternoon sun positions for these babies as their final position in your garden. So the golden rule with any plants is when to prune is you prune when it's finished flowering. Do you see there, that brown? That is the old wood. That's the mature wood, right? Here is this year's growth. There it is right there, the green. So you don't prune below the dark wood. That's what's most important. Follow down the flowers, find the 2 next healthiest leaves and nip them off. Once you've done that, you can then go and take your hydrangea, plant it into the garden in the right spot. Remember, with some acid compost, give it some hydrangea food, which is specifically formulated to keep this guy looking good, and make sure that you keep it well watered. Next up, we've got this lovely begonia. Now, this begonia is called a big leaf green. We also know it as dragon wings. This plant is an amazing plant for any bright light area. Of course, not direct sun, because we mentioned that in all of these. When the flowers are over and they start looking scraggly, you're going to follow a very similar principle. First of all, you're going to be deadheading, just removing a few of the flowers that are spent. And then you would follow the same process, following it down to the next set of leaves, giving it a prune, and then planting it in the garden, because they look magnificent in the garden space. And the best way of watering is take your watering can, but remove the rose. Get it in, and we give it a few sips of water. Wait for the water to seep in, and we can do it again. That's sips of water, not glugs. All right, and the third one is the plant that, whether you love them or hate them, you're going to end up having them in your home over the holidays, and those are poinsettias. These plants over here are actually forced into flower now. They don't normally flower now. And that, my friends, is actually the flower there. Not this. These are the bracts. These are just modified leaves that are actually colourful. There is the flower. So how do we look after them? Most importantly, these guys that I collected are fantastic. I love the idea. It's got a label, perfect. And if I turn the label over, it actually tells me how to look after it. But it's okay, I'm going to talk you through it. So if all else fails, as they say, follow the instructions. But what this guy comes with is a little pot cover, which works brilliantly, but it's also got a little wick. So when we need to water this baby, all we're going to do is we're going to take our watering can, pop a little bit of water into the base, because it's got a little lip here that doesn't allow it to go all the way in. And we just take this baby, pop it in there, and you can actually see through the light that there's where the pot ends, which means the wick is still sitting somewhere down there, which means the roots of the plant are not sitting in the water. And that is the reason why we kill plants. If we got them like this, which is simply just as a plant in a normal black pot, how are we going to water it? Poinsettias like sips of water. Allow the water to drain away any leaves that have dropped off and are past their sell-by date. Remove those and give it a little sip of water. You will only do this when the plant is dry. Folks, when the holidays are over, what do you do with them? Well, you'll know, because the leaves are going to start turning green. Then you will take it, pop it into the garden, plant it the same way you would plant a normal shrub, and you can recycle this as well. Well, that's it, guys. Those are my 3 holiday plants. Got to have them? Get them all. In fact, don't even make one choice. Get them all and put them around because they look so good. They're friendly, they're inviting, they're happy, and they just ooze holidays. If you enjoyed this clip, like it and share it. Also go to our YouTube channel where you can see so many more videos on how to look after plants, how not to kill them, and how to become a better all-round gardener.